The Pittsburgh Steelers dropped their second straight game, this time falling in dramatic fashion to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. Roll it.
From my head to the sack, I've never felt so low, and I can't hold my back, feel it when I'm alone. Take the glass through my neck till there's no feeling left. Drown myself for the high again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome back. I am Corey Caustic. This is the Caustic Fan. And yes, unfortunately, as I just stated, the Pittsburgh Steelers dropped another game, 2 in a row now, this time falling on Sunday Night Football to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this was a hard game to stay up and watch because, one, I work in the morning, and two, it didn't start until an hour and a half after it was supposed to. So this game did not end until about 1 in the morning, and I tried to go to bed after the broadcast ended, but boy, was that just not an option. So my sleep schedule is all sorts of fucked up right now. But let's get into it. So going over the scoring summary, first quarter, 12:35 left in the quarter. Aubrey hits a 55-yard field goal for the Cowboys, making it 3-0. Chris Boswell, with his mighty leg, responds a 41-yarder, 3-3. Second quarter, Aubrey hits another field goal, a 33-yarder, making it 6-3. That is what it was at halftime. We had a hard time getting our offense going in this game, especially in the passing game. And, as big a defender now as I've become of Justin Fields, he didn't have the greatest game today, but there's caveats to that, and we'll get into that in a bit. Third quarter, Pittsburgh takes the lead off a pass from Justin Fields. Fields passing to Connor Hayward for 16 yards and a touchdown, 10-6 after 3 quarters. And the fourth quarter is where everything went just buku crazy. So 13:51 left in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott gets a pass to, I forget how to say this guy's name, Dwaddle. I'm going to go with Dwaddle. Dowdle. Yeah, Dowdle. 22-yard pass, touchdown, 13-10, Dallas Cowboys. Then, with 4:56 left in the fourth quarter, Justin Fields with a short shovel pass. It was really cool because he kind of just shoveled it underneath, right to Pat Freiermuth, who powered his way into the end zone. 17-13. And I knew this was coming as soon as they scored that touchdown. 20 seconds left in the game. Dak Prescott hits Tolbert on a drag route across the middle. Nothing that we could really do. It was a perfectly placed pass. Touchdown, 20-17, our final score. How very annoying this was. They scored the touchdown, but I had pretty much had a feeling that we were going to lose this game basically for the whole game. And yeah, we did not disappoint my intuition on that one. Losing in the last seconds to Dallas. One, I just hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not even going to lie to you. I despise the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're the most pompous, loud, annoying organization for no reason. They have no reason to be as loud as they are, and yet they are always the loudest. So, breaking down performances real quick. Passing yards, Justin Fields, 15 of 27 for 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about here. So, rushing yards, Najee Harris, 14 carries, 42 yards, no touchdowns on the ground. He also led the team in receiving yards. And this is what I want to talk about in this game. Najee Harris had 2 catches for 35 yards. One of those came on a single big play. It's so annoying. I have a hard time being mad at how the defense played. Yeah, they gave up the drive and the winning touchdown. However, there were quite a few dropped passes in this game from the Steelers receiving core, and that absolutely wound up being detrimental to the Steelers and what they were trying to do today. The player who had the most catches was a three-way tie. Van Jefferson had 3 catches for 26 yards. George Pickens had 3 catches for 26 yards. Pat Freiermuth had 3 catches for 22 yards, but he did catch one of the touchdowns. Connor Hayward had 2 for 23 and a touchdown. Our receiving core was not good enough last night, and it wound up being really detrimental. And I have an issue with George Pickens right now because he had eye tape on across his nose that said always fucking open across it, and then proceeded to have a few drops and proceeded to make 3 catches. For someone who's always fucking open, you sure weren't. He's becoming a problem in my eyes. He's just another Antonio Brown, and his attitude is terrible. Let's also not forget, towards the end of the game, when, now admittedly, the Cowboys player started this. The Cowboys player gets up in his face with the football, starts taunting at him, and George Pickens rips him down by the face mask. Now, I am all for the fuck around and find out method, but at the same time, George Pickens probably should get suspended for that action. I'm being honest with you. Look, I am as diehard a Steelers fan as you will find. George Pickens was unnecessary in that action. George Pickens has an attitude problem, objectively. And as talented as George Pickens is, as many circus catches as he's made for the Steelers so far, is it worth it to keep perpetuating his attitude onto our team? We've done so well with cutting out a lot of locker room cancers in recent offseason. This just past offseason, we did a really good job. But now we have other players who are forming into problem child. And, there's a culture that's surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers that's really negative. The Steelers come out with all the attitude in the world, but then offensively, they just don't back it up. And look, when the 2006 Steelers came out with attitude, they backed it up. They'd hit you in the mouth. When the 2008 Steelers were out there running their mouths, or the 2010 Steelers were out there running their mouths, they backed it up. They'd punch you in the face. They took no prisoners. This team does not take no prisoners. They don't make teams pay for coming up against them. We need players like a Hines Ward to back up George Pickens. So, yeah, maybe you got a little bit of crazy on one side, but you have a consistent, good wide receiver. Van Jefferson is not that guy. Calvin Austin could be that guy, but Van Jefferson is not going to be that guy. Our offense it's better than last year. And I can't stress that enough, that this is a better offense than last year. But as of right now, we are doing nothing to help ourselves out offensively. Arthur Smith is supposed to be a better offensive coordinator, but the same play calling is happening. Run, run, pass. Or when you do try to do multiple passes, you're just dinking and dunking your way. Like, take the training wheels off. Let's go. Let's open up the playbook. We're about to head into a stretch of the schedule coming up that, I just don't really think we should be dilly-dallying with. So let's examine the Steelers' upcoming schedules here. By the way, let's talk something positive real fast. Real fast. TJ Watt made history with his sack numbers. He has triple-digit sacks. Congratulations to TJ Watt. Fantastic job. Cam Hayward had a pretty good night on the defensive line as well. Minkah Fitzpatrick made himself a little more of a presence in this past week defensively, but our offense let us down again. So, here's what we got coming up. Next week, we are at the Raiders. This is a winnable game. We need to be winning this game. Following that, again, Sunday Night Football, hopefully with less storms, hosting the New York Jets. The following week after that, we host the New York Giants, who have already proven themselves to be a tricky team. They went to Cleveland, beat the Browns in their own building, made the Browns look really bad, which the Browns are really bad, but at the same time, you don't want to take these night games lightly. After that, we have the Washington Commanders away, and then we go into the most brutal stretch of our season. The final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games of our season are going to be brutal. Now, luckily, between the Giants and the Commanders, there's a bye week. And we're going to need that bye week, I feel, to get healthy, get rested, and rest up for what can only be described as what is going to be a rough series of games. But, what's it going to matter if we can't get our offense going? We need more weapons. That's really all it boils down to. I would be totally cool with punting on this season, re-signing Justin Fields, letting Russell Wilson skedaddle. Totally cool with that. Letting Russell Wilson go, and then using the draft to get O-line help, because we still need some more offensive line help, and wide receivers. I would be totally cool with that. I don't want to punt on the season. I think we can. I truly believe this Pittsburgh Steelers team can win the division. Truly. The Ravens are not as tough as once thought. The Browns are terrible. And the Bengals are one of the worst defenses I've ever seen from that Cincinnati team. Since the Joe Burrow era started, this is the worst I've seen the Bengals. Their defense is abysmal. We have to be playing to our strengths in order to do that, but I really think it's possible still at this point. But who knows? I don't know, man. I have faith in Mike Tomlin as a coach right now. I still do. But all things must end. And is it time for Mike Tomlin to step aside for someone else in the NFL? I don't know. I'm not there yet. But clearly something needs to be done. And I'm not above Omar Khan firing Mike Tomlin. If it comes down to it, because what we need to be playing for is we need to be playing for division titles and possible playoff runs. That is the Steelers. That is what we are supposed to be doing. We have not been doing that. We haven't even won a playoff game for 8 years. Like, figure it out or get out of the way. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I'm really frustrated at the Steelers right now. And don't get me wrong, 3-0 was a nice start, but at a point, we got to get our shit together. Like, get your house in order. And if Omar Khan has to be the bad guy and fire the longest tenured coach in the NFL, I don't think he's above that. Like, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We can't be falling into mediocrity anymore. That's not our thing. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic, as I am known to be. But let me know what you think below. I am Corey Caustic. This has been the Caustic Fan. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.